If you tried to play Overwatch 2, you know it's like putting the happiness center of your brain against a 1920s cheese grater. To combat this feeling, it helps to not suck at the game. To get good, you first need to know the differences between the 3 roles. Assuming you're solo queuing because you have no friends, here's what awaits you in each role. Tank. You know how to play the game, but you're not having fun. DPS. You don't know how to play the game, but at least you're having fun. Support. You don't know how to play the game, and you're not having fun. To start this series, I've decided to help the support mains first, because mine clearly need it. A fun fact about the world of Overwatch is it's set in the real world 50 years in the future, and so far it's looking pretty accurate, AI uprising and all. This also means magic doesn't actually exist. Every character's abilities can be explained through technology, body enhancements, and pure skill. Kiriko's abilities are straight magic. Like any support, your goal as Kiriko is to heal as much as possible and occasionally get some chip damage in when everyone is healed. But the moment a DPS attacks you, you're legally obligated to let your team die until you win the 1v1. If you're wondering how Kiriko's magic actually works if Overwatch is set in the real world, just put yourself in the shoes of Blizzard. Sir, how are we gonna pay for all these sexual harassment lawsuits against us? Make 3 more Kiriko skins. If that isn't magic, I don't know what is. When most people think of support, they think of Mercy, but since the dawn of Overwatch 2, Mercy has been incidentally nerfed into the ground. This means the only people still playing Mercy are e-girls who are pushing 30 and have the breast cancer Mercy skin, and e-girls who spent $100 for the breast cancer Mercy skin. While the committed e-girls are happy to lose their games if they get to play Mercy, the guys pretending to be e-girls will simply switch to Kiriko and still lose. Even if you're good at Mercy and you win your games, you know it's still a lose-lose scenario. Because if you heal your team, they will complain about you not damage boosting, and if you damage boost, your team will complain about you not healing. But again, this is assuming you haven't died 8+ times first round and got reported for resing the DPS in the middle of the enemy team. If you're coming from Counter-Strike and other similar games, you might think your skills would best transfer to one of these characters. But you're actually better at playing Ana than most Ana players, because her gameplay consists of nade lineups, proper use of cover, and getting shot in the back of the head during deathmatch. If you want to win playing Ana, you unfortunately need to know how to aim. However, unlike most supports where winning and aiming is part of having fun, Anas only care about one thing, and that is hitting those sleeps. If your Ana hits a crazy sleep, you're sure to hear about it in voice chat. The only downside to hitting sleeps is it unfortunately requires you to know how to aim. If you're worried about not having 80+ hours dumped into aim training, don't worry. That's why your friend sent you the video on supports while they insta-lock DPS. Unless you like dying all the time, the support that requires the least amount of aim is Brigitte, whose name is shortened to "The Brig is low!" So often, I had to look up her actual name. Playing Brig is one of the more enjoyable experiences in Overwatch 2. All you have to do is swing your mace in the enemy's general direction, heal anybody that's low, and hold your shield if you're scared. Playing against Brig is one of the most infuriating experiences in Overwatch 2, because all they do is swing their mace in your general direction, heal anybody that's low, and hold their shield if they're scared. If you still don't want to learn how to aim but want a support with more complexity, your best option is Lucio. Of all the supports, Lucio has the highest skill ceiling because of his unique wall riding ability. No other support since Overwatch's initial release has a feature like this because Blizzard stopped caring. There are 2 ways of playing Lucio. Option 1 is to speed boost your team while you're leaving spawn, heal while you're in combat, and sometimes getting in some chip damage as you play with the wall riding feature. Or option 2, you watch Frogger. For those who don't know, just remember if the enemy Lucio is wearing this skin, he'll be the bane of your existence. But if the Lucio on your team is wearing this skin, he'll be the bane of your existence. Despite having less than 2,000 healing, these Lucios will still blame the loss on their team, but will never get the chance to say anything because they left as soon as they saw the defeat screen. Alari is actually a healer I know nothing about and have to go play her for this video. Alari has a nice balance of damage and support while utilizing players' existing knowledge of where to put Torb and Sim turrets to aid their team rather than doing damage. Anyways, I lost 5 times in a row with her, so F tier. Zenyatta is for Kiriko players who got tired of pretending they care about the team. Zen players will see a Ryan charge into a group of 4, press one button, and call it a day because that's all they can do. In the meantime, they'll try the 1v1 the cast and lose. Zen's design centers around a purple orb of Hurdy and a yellow orb of Healy, representing a form of balance between damage and healing, which reflects how Zenyatta as a character acts and how players play him. Moira is my personal favorite support because she is as easy to master as the villagers in my basement. When I play other supports, I'm hard stuck gold, but if I play Moira, easy diamond could have been masters if the new Minecraft update didn't come out. Moira's design centers around a purple orb of Hurdy and a yellow orb of Healy, representing a form of balance between damage and healing. And I know what you might be thinking, yes, she will step on you if you volunteer. Moira has an extremely high healing potential, being able to rapidly heal the whole team by throwing one orb and holding right click. This may lead you to think, well, if I can heal the whole team so easy, couldn't I kill the enemy team just as easy? Congrats, you are a DPS Moira, which means you'll lose all your games, but at least you'll have 30 plus kills. Wife Leaver is a tempting option as one of the 4 main supports and not because of your suppressed homoerotic thoughts. But I warn you, he will always pull out. Despite being considered a main support by the competitive Overwatch community, he is rarely played at the pro level because Blizzard refuses to buff him and they're clearly homophobic. Fortunately, Wife Leaver does have a high skill ceiling. This means if you practice enough, you can finally kill your useless Lucio. The support with the most unique movement since Lucio is unfortunately Juno, purely because she is one of the few who aren't bound to the ground for more than 3 seconds. When Juno first released, I was glad to finally get some Vietnamese representation in Overwatch. That was until I realized they made her a literal alien. Now, normally I would be upset at Blizzard for this kind of behavior, but hey, at least they didn't make her Mexican. Like a DPS Moira, Juno players can also fall into the trap of forgetting to heal the team, but this is fine with me as long as you let me keep spectating. While Blizzard has been trying to figure out how to make playing support fun without just turning them into DPS, they've been turning them into DPS. So far, they've been subtle by not giving a support an explicit gun and opting for energy cannons, damage orbs, and blasters as to not break the support illusion. But like most things, Blizzard eventually stopped caring and gave Baptiste an SMG. As we all know, Blizzard is secretly racist. Made her a literal alien. As we all know, Blizzard is racist, which is why every Japanese character can climb, every Australian looks like this, and every black person can jump. Baptiste is one of the few supports I've actually seen get kills, have good sustained heals, and make meaningful plays with the immortality field. That is, if they weren't headshot by the Widow every time they jump, which is 80% of the time. As of making this video, Wu Yang is the latest support added to Overwatch 2, and as any experienced player knows, this means he'll be able to out DPS the DPS, heal a fair amount, and get nerfed a few weeks later so Blizzard can start working on the next hero. When you're starting to learn Overwatch, it's important to remember your goal is to have fun and not stress about how often you win or lose. Just remember, if you ever see this username on your team, make sure to leave as quickly as possible, and I'll hope for some better backfill.